Two-time NCAA long drive champion, big break winner, Golf Channel star. Blair O'Neal has never followed a straight line, only a determined one. She learned early what it meant to bet on herself.
It's Anthony versus Blair here on the stunning 15th hole of Pete Dye's Teeth of the Dog.
We're both playing for $50,000. I mean, this is going to be a huge match.
My team are depending on me, and the last thing I want to do is let them down.
Sit.
Come back! I answered his shot. I mean, he hit a great shot in there, and I just stuck it a little bit closer.
Along the way, she won a reality TV show, graced magazine covers, and became one of the most recognizable faces in golf. But what defines Blair isn't the highlights. It's her ability to adapt, rebuild, and keep moving forward when the path shifts. When one version of the dream changed, she didn't quit. She evolved and carved out a new lane on her own terms. So what does it look like to reinvent with grit, patience, and the courage to never give up? I'm former LPGA Tour player Cheyenne Woods, and this is Real Game, Real Transformation with Blair O'Neal. Welcome to the show, Blair. I'm so
Thank
excited
you.
to have you here.
Thanks for having me.
It's always nice to talk to another woman in the sports world, especially golf, which we know is male-dominated, and I'm always so impressed with your journey and what you've been able to accomplish, not only in TV, but your journey leading up to TV in competition and tour life, and what career you've been able to build is so impressive.
Thank you.
You're
It's been a lot. It's been a lot. A lot of steps in my
Yes.
career.
You make it look so easy.
Thank
And
you.
your career is just so gracefully
you.
smooth, and you've transitioned so well that I know behind the scenes it's a lot harder
Just,
than
I'm glad it looks like that.
And you have such a deep history in competitive golf that a lot of people don't realize. And that's why I'm excited to talk to you today, because that's a huge part of, like we said, who you are today and the career that you've built.
For sure.
I know golf now, the landscape of golf is totally different than it was when we started.
Mm-hmm.
Golf was not trendy. It was not cute. It was not cool. What was it that connected you to the sport, and what sparked that belief that this journey is for you?
Well, I started playing golf when I was 11. My dad got me into the game and put me into a junior clinic at San Marcos. And yes,
Throwback.
a throwback. That was the very first place I ever played golf.
Wow.
And I was doing dance lessons at the same time. And I tell you what, I did that clinic, what was it, like a month or two, and I just loved the game. So when the clinic was over, my dad said, okay, you're either going to start taking golf lessons and quit dance, or you're going to do dance. But whatever you do, you're not going to half-ass it. You're going to do whatever you're going to do fully. So I had the big decision, and I decided I was going to do golf.
Wow.
And that's probably the best decision I ever made.
Look at you now. I always loved being underestimated as a girl in golf, and being that one girl that can show up and play with the boys. Did you ever have that experience?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, every day after school, I'd be at the golf course. I mean, I lived at the golf course. I'd go before school, I'd go after school, and I'd be practicing with the boys. And like those were my friends. That's who I hung out with, you know?
You didn't know any different.
No.
Yeah.
Even at any public golf course that I played at. You know, I grew up on public golf courses, and I would just go up to the tee by myself, want to play, and you just see the guys standing at the tee box like, oh my gosh, we have to play with this girl, like this young girl, you know?
Yes.
And then you see the disappointment in their faces,
Yes.
and then you hit it, and they're like, oh,
Okay.
dang. And you beat them,
Yeah.
you know? So
That's the
I
best
knew I could
feeling.
like pretty much always hold my own. So I don't know. I feel like too, I was 11, but I was young enough to also just not, I don't know if I noticed it that much either, because I was just so into what I was doing, and I cared
Right.
so much about what I was doing, and I loved doing what I was doing. So I felt like I kind of sensed it and knew it, but I didn't give it too much thought,
Right.
because I was just doing me.
I want to go through your career graph that we have charted. It includes your playing career and transitioning to TV. Success is never linear. As we talked about before, from the outside, you've made it look so smooth and not easy, but you make it look effortless in how
Like I
you
said, thank
carry
you.
yourself and the success that you've had. As we look at this graph, every career
Mhm.
has its peaks and valleys, and it truly is what makes you you.
Mhm.
As you look at this graph, what do you see?
I see. Okay, where I played college golf, that was a high. I won high school state. Like I said, got a scholarship to Arizona State. They had just won 3 national championships. It was huge that I got recruited to play there. Like that was my dream.
Yes.
Like I didn't care about any other school. I would get letters from colleges. My dad had a file. He had everything organized. Mail would come in. He's like, "Oh, you got another college letter," and I'd be like, "Who's it from?" And if it wasn't Arizona State, I was like, "Okay, you can open it." I'd be like, "Blair, you have to open your mail."
Yeah.
So there was a rise definitely when I played there, and then I turned professional and played many years out on tour. And I had a broken foot, so that's probably the low here. And then the high goes back up again in 2010 to my big break win. And I went back out and played professional golf. Little spikes there, and then once I started in television, it spikes back up. So that's a very short version.
Just off the charts.
That's the very short version. A lot of ups and downs, though.
Yes. And that's what it takes, honestly, to get to where you're
a lot of not
going.
giving up, a lot of perseverance, and a lot of discipline. Is what that is.
I like that. Because when I do look at your career, whether it's your graph or just kind of learning your story, the first thing that comes to mind a lot of time is hustle. I feel like you absolutely created every opportunity ever given to you.
Yes.
And so I want to start first with when you went to ASU, you graduated, you turned pro. We know that journey is difficult. And financially, it's very hard.
Yeah.
What was your experience with not only juggling the finances of tour golf, but then also the other career you had in modeling?
Yeah. So I started modeling, like I said, once I graduated. At that time, I had got approached to do a Golf Digest calendar like my sophomore year of college. They went to my coaches and said, "Oh, we want her to do this," but I couldn't do it. I was on full rate scholarship, and at that time,
NCAA rules.
yes, you could not, make
Imagine
income.
today. Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh, are you kidding me?
Yeah, NIL.
It's so crazy. It's so cool what
Yes.
these kids can do now and the opportunities that they have. I'm like,
Yes.
if I would have had that,
If
oh my
only.
gosh, if only,
You would have
yeah.
killed it.
Oh, so fun. So
Yeah.
fun that they get to do that. But yeah, it was different back then. So as soon as I graduated, literally the next month I was on a plane to Hawaii to do a photo shoot.
Wow.
So at that time, I didn't have any family backing financially. So I was literally doing it by myself on my own. I had no help.
Wow.
So I had to create this other, income, this
Yeah.
other job.
Right.
And I did just that. And I did that first modeling job, and I was like, "Oh, dang, I like this. I could do this." And so I pursued that, and I pursued it hard, and I played professional golf and modeled, and did it without an agent for a while, and then eventually ended up signing with Ford Models and did get an agent. And
Okay.
but that was a path as well. Like nothing came easy.
I feel like professional golf on its own is hard. I
Yes.
can't imagine doing professional golf and then traveling to go do this other career, which is not an easy career either. It's
No.
very demanding. How are you able to juggle prioritizing both of those journeys you were on?
I just did my best, but it wasn't always my best. Because I can't do one without it. Like I can't play professional golf without the other. So scheduling wise, that was always hard to figure out. Like when I didn't have a tournament, I had to be working and had to be taking jobs, and I love doing modeling as well. But I had to be able to play professional golf.
Right.
And there's so many expenses out there. When you're playing college golf, it's so nice. Your coach
Yeah.
plans
all
everything.
free.
Your car rental, your housing, your food, your tournament fees coming up in the future, your scheduling. So that was really part of the reason, not part of, I think the reason actually, why I didn't succeed as my potential could have allowed me to, because it held me back in that financial part in my head.
Right.
That was just like put so much pressure on myself
Yeah.
to perform. And like you said, you already have professional golf was already hard enough.
Right.
But then having that pressure, knowing that you're out there, that, like you need to make cuts.
Every
Then you
dollar
start worrying about
counts.
making cuts. And when you start worrying
Right.
about making cuts, then you don't make cuts.
Everything gets harder.
Yeah. So it really held me back having that financial burden of just not having the comfort of having like a nest egg yet and being able to play freely.
Right.
Junior golf, you can play freely and you're just doing what you love to do. And then it got out to where I was out there and my mentality completely changed. And that held me back. That really hurt me in my career.
You had a dream of playing on tour, but this glamorous life of modeling, I'm sure, was starting to look nice when the golf is hard. What kept you in it?
Well, my ultimate goal was to play professional golf on the LPGA. But then it was kind of cool because when I was modeling, I started blending the two worlds. So then it wasn't just modeling, it was modeling with golf.
Right.
And then I started booking jobs because I'm an athlete and, blending those two things. So I'm like, oh, now I've created a career that no one is doing, at the time.
Right.
No one was doing it.
Nobody.
And I had this whole other career on the side of me playing professional golf. So I just kind of created my own path.
Yep.
But the ultimate goal was always to play professional golf on the LPGA tour. Like I said, that's all I cared about. So it really drove me to try to succeed in both worlds. But it was absolutely a challenge. You can only go so long. Like there's always so much you can do. You want balance, but when you're balancing yourself, you're also not giving
100%.
Into each thing. So you just never want to let one get too low for too long.
Like you said, you were a complete trailblazer in that industry of being a model and a golfer and having that brand of being that type of female athlete. Did you ever struggle with the perception of whether it be the industry or media or other players with what you were doing?
Oh, absolutely.
Wow.
Yeah. And especially more so in the beginning. I don't know. When did I get on? I got on Instagram very late. But when I was still playing on tour and I had competed on Big Break, I had created a name for myself. But social wasn't like really huge then. It was just kind of beginning.
Right.
But I would get sponsor exemptions. I was getting a lot of attention. Like it was, I came out of Big Break and my success on Big Break. I came out a different person,
a different persona.
Yeah, a different persona than before.
Yeah.
And so I had more opportunities that came my way. And of course, I'm going to take them. If I get a sponsor's exemption, I'm going to take a sponsor's exemption. If I get attention or jobs or more modeling jobs or more appearances, more outings that come up, I'm going to take them. I'm going to capitalize on everything I can.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to work my butt off and I'm going to do it.
It's a business.
But I always did sense from other players out there, and even like I feel like back then, even the tour staff, I felt like I could sense. I don't know. You just feel it.
The energy is
you
a little
feel it.
different.
Maybe little comments here or there, but you just feel that. Yeah. So but I feel like that's normal. I feel like anytime you're doing anything big and anytime you're doing anything different, that you're going to get some sort of backlash. And now we have social. So now the backlash can be like mean comments and people saying whatever they want to say about you. You know what I mean? So it's just in a different way they can really come at you behind your computer screen.
Well, and nowadays you see so many more girls and women leaning into the modeling side of sport.
Oh my gosh.
Or golf specifically.
Yes.
So when you were in that era of the first to really do it.
Well, and the crazy thing about that is because when I did it, the only thing anyone cared about, because I was also doing the modeling and had that whole thing too, and everyone just cared about my scores on the golf course, how I was performing on the golf course, how good was I, where was I finishing, what was I shooting.
Can she actually play?
Yeah. And I did pretty well. I didn't, like I said, I didn't do as well as I could have because of certain things and whatever, but I know I'm a good player. I know I have a good swing. And I was busting my butt to be out there to play out on tour and doing it all by myself, really. And it's interesting because now on social, you don't have to, no one cares about what's your background.
Yeah.
What do you shoot?
Right.
What's your tournament history? How many tournaments have you played in? How many years have you played on tour? What tours have you played on? What are your scores? Like, which is very nice for them. But when I was doing it coming up, that's all people cared about, which also was like frustrating because I look back and I'm like, oh my gosh, like I was doing so many good things on the golf course that compared to now what you can get away with being
Oh,
on
yeah.
social, and like you don't have to have any of that. Like
Right.
you look cute and you swing the golf club, you
Yeah,
get a lot
that's
of
all that
attention.
matters.
Like there's a certain recipe,
Yes.
you know,
Absolutely.
to get followers out there
Yes.
or
when
to
you
get
were-
attention.
So when you were competing amidst all of this,
Yeah.
how do you stay focused? Where do you find the confidence to put to the side what those perceptions might be or those comments you might be hearing?
I think I just tried to focus on what I was doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was all I could do.
That's all you can control.
That's all. Yeah, I mean, I couldn't control what other people thought, or if other people thought it was unfair. I got an exemption to this tournament, or whatever. I just tried to focus on me. Because what's your other option?
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna let them have control of me.
Let it affect your
Yeah.
business and your career.
Yeah, and maybe it does
building.
affect you somewhat, but I'm gonna try my hardest not to,
Right.
or to
Yeah.
not let you know that it does.
Yeah, that takes a lot of strength,
You
especially
know?
when you're young and you're up and coming and you're still trying to just build
Yeah.
and grow. But
You feel like it's you against everyone else, and that's just
Yeah.
part of it. But that also creates strength
absolutely.
and perseverance, and if you can get through that, you're always going to have that. As long as you're
Yeah.
succeeding and you're doing something, you're always going to have someone or something or against you, or not
Have something to say.
not cheering you on.
Yes.
And that's fine.
And that's okay.
That is, yeah. That
You
is
mentioned
what it is.
strength and perseverance.
Yeah.
I know you did go through a pretty bad injury that took you completely out of the game for a good amount of time.
Yeah.
When it comes to injuries and athletes, a lot of times it can be hard to find that outlet of not being able to compete, not being able to be busy or work out and do the same routine that you're used to.
Mhm.
During that time, what was your outlet or how did you manage being out of the game, a game that you love?
Yeah. So I broke my foot out on tour, and I think back about that, and it was interesting because when it first happened, I almost feel like I was really struggling out on tour. I was really struggling financially. I was really struggling with scheduling, and I was stressed out, and I was worried about making cuts, and like I was having a hard time out on the golf course. And when it initially happened, I was thinking about it, and I do feel like I felt some sort of instant relief, which is so
Interesting.
weird, but I
Yeah.
did feel a relief because
Yeah.
because I'm so driven, nothing was going to stop me.
Right.
Like I couldn't stop
You were gonna
myself.
push through everything.
Yeah, I couldn't stop myself.
Isn't that
And
crazy?
this
Yeah.
made me. And then I feel like it was like, okay, it happened for a
Yeah.
reason.
Absolutely.
I made this happen
Yeah.
to you because you are not going to, you're on that
Your
wheel. You're
body's
not,
telling
you're
you.
not, you're not going to stop. Then I was depressed.
Yeah.
Then I was depressed because
Then it hit.
yeah, then it hit different because I was so used to being so busy, traveling, being on the road, being
Yeah.
active, working out.
Yeah.
I couldn't do anything.
Right.
So I went through, again, like
Yeah.
crazy emotions, but those things, when I look back now, I am glad that happened. It had to have happened because I needed to go through those moments
Mm-hmm.
to come out better and to come out stronger and to
Yes.
be able to like evaluate what I wanted to do.
And it gives you so much time to reflect as well of, okay, I feel that relief. My body needed a break. My mind needed a break. Okay,
Yeah.
now I'm a little depressed and I miss it. I need to be
Yes.
busy and find something to get that outlet of that competition side
Yeah.
of myself that I need. And I know big break came soon after that.
And
Is
that's
that
what I was
right?
going to say. And then, so maybe that's why that all happened. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I needed to,
From
like,
the
my
broken
brain
foot to
needed
the
to be
big break.
rewired.
Yes. How symbolic too, right? Of just having that time that maybe you needed
Yeah.
and then getting this literal big break
Yes.
in your career at the right time.
Yes. It was for me, for sure. I got the call and they're like, okay, we're leaving next month. Have you been playing? And I was like, yeah, sure. Yes.
Whatever you want to hear.
I'm like, oh my God, I got to get out of bed and I've got to get practicing, get, grinding. I hadn't been playing a ton,
Wow.
but I wasn't going to miss this opportunity.
Right.
So I had 1 month to prepare. And so I did what any person would do, what any crazy person would do. And I got a big poster and I had made a calendar out of it. And I brainstormed and I was like, okay, what challenges from what I've seen on Big Break do they do? Okay. And now what do I need to do? What's the goal in those challenges for me to succeed? And then what do I need to do to be able to do that challenge well? What shots do I need to hit? What clubs do I need to get real familiar with? And so I had and then what do I need to do workout wise so that I can have endurance because I know it's going to be long days.
Yeah.
And so I had every single day planned out of what my workout was going to be, my schedule on the golf course, what part of the game I was going to practice.
Mm-hmm.
And I literally checked off every single thing. And I think that gave me like such accomplishment. When you prepare, you have confidence because you know you're prepared.
Yeah.
And so that gave me a guideline, and I felt like really good about that.
So you went from 7 months-ish of not
Mhm.
playing,
Yeah.
not even being able to really move or be active, to then in a big break boot camp that you created yourself.
Yeah.
Did you have any support during that time of preparing for big break?
No.
What was that looking like?
No, I did not.
Have you always had that personality of being so self-driven and holding yourself accountable in that way?
Yeah, I have. But I think a lot of it has just been driven from like past stuff deep down, like when
Yeah.
I was younger, where I've had to be so like
Mhm.
like figure stuff out on your own.
Yep.
It's sink or swim.
Right.
Like my life has been really like sink or swim. Like
Yeah.
you're either gonna fail or you're gonna figure out a way to do it.
Yeah.
When you don't have anyone to rely on for finances, you can't go ask somebody for money.
Right.
You don't have anyone there to like help you at that point. Like you got to figure it out. Like be resourceful. At one point I put on a golf tournament to raise money, a Blair O'Neal fundraiser for me to go play out on
And you
tour.
put it on
I
yourself?
set up the whole thing by myself. Do you know how hard it is to
Wow.
put together a tournament?
Yes, I do.
I did this at Karsten. It's so much. It makes you
Wow.
appreciate when you go to these tournaments. Now I
Yes.
play in these celebrity golf tournaments, and they're like
It's
massive
amazing.
tournaments, and there's so many moving parts. I'm like,
Right.
you guys doing a great job because I know how hard it is.
Yes.
Just at the level that I did.
Right.
So like you figure it out.
Yeah.
When you don't have another option and you want to be successful, and losing or failing is not an option for you because of my personality.
Yeah.
Like I'm not going to allow that to happen. You figure it out.
So when you have that personality and that perception of you sink or swim,
Mm-hmm.
if you do encounter a failure,
Mm-hmm.
how do you then perceive that? Or how do you process a failure?
The thing is, I just feel like I just have it in me to where like I would just still not give up. Like something deep within me feeling like, okay, let's try again. You'll get it, you know? But I don't know, maybe that's crazy.
Yeah.
Like, you know?
No,
Like
I
there's
mean,
a little
I
bit
feel
of
like-
craziness in that too.
But I
being
think
like,
it takes a little crazy to be successful.
Yeah.
Right? And to
Yes.
push past.
to not give up and to be like, I'm doing something for so long and it's not quite working, and I'm going to keep trying all these things and still
Mhm.
like the other thing that hurt me when I played professional golf is I wanted it so bad. I practiced so hard. I practiced so long.
Yeah.
I put everything I did revolved about me being at that tournament, preparing for that tournament, grinding, practice putting, chipping,
Yeah.
out on the driving range, playing all the practice rounds, playing a full schedule. I look
Wow.
back now and I'm like, oh, that was so counterintuitive. I
Yeah.
thought I was
That's what you needed.
being great, being the last person to leave the driving
harder
range.
you work, the better you should
Yeah.
be. Right.
And that's not, I think players today now are realizing the whole balance thing, but really like it's not a competition of who's out there the longest.
Yeah.
Like some players might still think that way, but I feel like now it's more like we all understand our mental health and making
Yes.
sure that we feel good off the golf course as well and on the golf course. But man, if I would have just enjoyed my life more when I was out on tour and like went to a movie or did some sightseeing or saw
Take a day
anything,
off. Yeah.
take a day off, take a week off, don't play full schedule.
Do you now
you know?
incorporate that into your lifestyle today of this new career in TV, or is that totally separate? Competition versus.
I do say no to things that don't serve me, that don't have time.
Right.
My schedule, I'm so busy, and I just have to say no to things that just
Don't serve
that
you.
aren't worth it.
Right.
You know, really.
Yes.
It comes in like what's worth
Absolutely.
it.
Yes.
So I'm very much more that's more at the forefront
Okay.
these days because it has to be.
Yeah.
Because now I've
Well,
got a
especially with the
family.
family. I want to go back to the big break preparation you had for big
Mm.
break. Obviously, it paid off. I mean, you played amazing and you placed runner up. And I know that had to be pretty heartbreaking. How do you balance a success versus a failure in that type of environment?
Well, the flight home was really tough because I was just so sad that I lost. Like
So
I'd worked
close.
so hard, I was so close. But also, I always kind of felt like it was also a win too because I made it that far.
Right.
You know, rewatching it, that's when it hurt. That's when you're like, "Oh,
reliving it all.
reliving it.
Yeah, every shot.
That was hard. But nobody knew up until then what I did because we're not
Okay.
supposed to talk about it. You know,
Yeah.
you sign your life away, you
Yeah.
know, don't talk about it. And I did it. I followed that. I didn't
Yeah.
tell anyone. And everyone thought I won.
Wow.
And so when I didn't and I had to relive that first month or two, no was pretty tough.
How do you process all of that new attention?
Well, it was a lot of attention. So a lot of good things came from it too. So it was
Yeah.
like, okay, first I'm sad because I just relived it and saw that I lost and I was so close and everyone thought I won.
Yeah.
Then it goes to, well, all these doors did start opening. I ended up
Mhm.
signing with a major agency and now I'm booking a lot of appearances. And I started creating a name for myself and, started really growing my career. And then that's when things started taking off. And then I got the call for the next big break, which was perfect.
So I know it had to have been a mix of emotions going through that experience. Did you know you would be open to doing a big break again, or
I had no idea.
okay,
I didn't even know. I had never thought,
that it would be possible?
yeah, no. I don't think the thought never crossed my mind.
Okay.
But when I got the call to do another big break, I was like, yes, let's do it. And then I said, okay, it worked last time how I prepared, so I'm going to prepare the same exact way this time.
Mhm.
And really going into it too, my thoughts were, have no regrets. Like I
Mm.
said that to myself every single day, every
Wow.
single night. Like be out there, compete, and have no regrets. Hit every shot when you're ready. Don't ever, the worst thing I could have done was to hit a golf shot and to regret something I did, or either regret my preparation or my pre-shot routine or something stupid that my brain's thinking in the middle when it shouldn't be thinking, and
Right.
I don't stop myself. Like you have control yourself and set yourself up to where you can leave knowing that I don't regret hitting that shot. And if
Yeah.
it didn't work out, because things happen in golf too that are out of your control, but I was going to make sure that I handled everything that I could in my control as best as I could. And if I did that, I was going to feel good about it.
That's awesome.
So
Because that's hard. It's hard to
it's
get to
so
that
hard.
point.
It's so
And
hard.
it's not just golf in the big break either. I mean, yes, you're hitting golf shots, but it's
Yeah.
a production behind the
Oh,
scenes.
so
And it's
much.
such a unique environment where you're not given 18 holes to play and make up
Right.
for a mistake. You need to hit this one shot or these
Mhm.
handful of shots and perform when it matters.
It's cutthroat.
How were you able to adapt to that type of environment, which you had been in the year before, but it
Mhm.
still is fairly new and very different from traditional golf?
Yeah, I mean, we were in the Dominican Republic. It was different location. Prince Edward Island, it was really cold. Dominican
Okay.
Republic, it was really hot. It was still mixed guys and girls. So I knew what to expect somewhat, but you never know what to expect on Big Break.
Right.
You've got so many cameras surrounding you. You've got downtime because you're waiting for them to set up. So it's really long days. You're waking up really early in the morning. You're filming really late at night doing interviews. Like sometimes I wouldn't get done till midnight or after
Wow.
midnight. And then you're waking up at 5 the next day. So it's like, it is like a golf boot camp
intense.
for sure. It's
Yeah.
very intense. And like you said, some challenges you only have one shot. If you mess up, you're out,
Yeah.
you
Oh my
know?
gosh.
And you have to be prepared for anything because you never know what the challenge is going to be that day and
Yeah.
what twists and turns can happen.
Yeah.
It's so exciting. It's so cool. Like you can't explain the feeling of being on the show, especially because like I feel like the contestants on the show want it so bad, and I feel like that's why the show's resonated with the viewers
Mhm.
because they can feel that these players just are putting their like heart and soul into it,
Everything.
you know?
And I think it's also the opportunity that
Oh.
is there for these players and for you in that
Exactly.
moment. It's the opportunity of you literally see these players who just want a chance.
For sure.
They have so many emotions playing the
Mhm.
sport that they love. They are giving it absolutely everything.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
It's a lot to balance and juggle and
Yeah.
to still be able to compete and perform when you need to.
It
How
is.
how were you able to, through all of this craziness of what the production is and the show and the competition, how are you able to stick with your routine?
You be selfish. Yeah, you be selfish. And you know how you operate and what works for you. And for me, that's kind of like in college, my coaches always said, "Oh, she's in her Blair bubble."
Oh, wow.
And like really that is kind of what it is. Get into my bubble, know what works for me. When do I need to stop chit-chatting and like focus on what I'm doing? When can I allow myself to take breaks and like talk with everyone and get some downtime, decompress? I think I had a really great foundation on the mental side working with Lynn Marriott. She was amazing on the mental side,
Yeah.
you know? And so I definitely got a really great foundation. Having the chance to work with them when I was younger at a very early age
Yeah.
and to be able to create that kind of core
Those good habits.
habits
Yeah.
was huge. And a lot of that I'd fall back on too.
Mhm.
And also I journaled a lot. So back
Oh,
then I
interesting.
have journals. I have all my golf journals saved. These journals are when I'm 11, 12, 13, 14, 15
Wow.
years old.
Yeah.
And a lot of the same stuff in those journals that I wrote down and thoughts still hit today,
Really?
you know?
Yeah.
So,
Consistent.
yeah. So it's just really knowing how you operate.
And I know Lynn and Pia they have their Vision 54 that they work with their play box of how you think
Right.
over the shot, how you think outside of the shot.
Exactly.
Can you give us an example? And I know you don't play as much competition anymore, but if someone wanted to listen to this and maybe take something home and learn of what worked for you, or an example of a thought in the play box versus then taking yourself away from the shot and giving yourself that bubble.
For me, it's like when you're out on the course taking breaks in between shots, because there's no way you can focus for a whole 4.5, 5.5 hours, however long it takes. So in between shots, looking off at the sky, the beautiful scenery, the airplanes, like get your attention out, you know? And then when it comes to your shot, really being able to dial in those however many seconds it takes for you to get your pre-shot routine in. You know, when I'm behind the ball, I'm just visually seeing where I want the ball to go. I'm picking my spot on the ground, but I'm seeing my shot. I'm a super visual player. Most people are. And then when I'm up to the ball, it's really just aim, and then last look at the target, and then it's just good swing.
Okay.
Like my thought, good swing.
Okay.
Good swing.
Simple. You keep it as simple
I
as
keep it as simple
possible.
as like, yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
You
It's
gotta
already
keep it
hard enough
simple.
as it is.
But practicing your routine out on the driving range, or even when you're just playing a practice round, is so important. Like, you have to have a good routine. And that's funny because one of the players on Big Break was this Dominican. Yeah, after the show, she had told me, we were talking, and she was like, your routine is so, like, on point. She was like, it was so impressive. Like, you did it the same way every single time. Your routine was, like, dialed in.
Yeah.
And it is. I had it dialed into the seconds.
Wow.
Literally, like, I would know how long my routine was,
Wow.
how long I was behind the ball, how long I was over, and it was just consistent, super consistent. I spent a lot of time on that in college and before college. So that was something I'm glad that I spent a lot of. That was a foundational thing. And I can rely on that now because I don't play consistently as much as I used to. Now I play more with glam golf and, you know, these tournaments I play throughout the year. But like, I have that really good foundation. So I can go out on the range, fine tune it, or out on the course. I prefer to practice out on the course. Out on the course, fine tune the things that I know work for me and always come back to them, because every golfer has certain things that trigger them that work for them.
That you can always fall back to.
Yeah. And if you don't know what they are, you better go find it, because there's something that works. You know, like for amateur golfers, like I tell them, if you don't know what it is, there's something there. You got to figure it out.
It's going to be that one swing thought or that one feel that's always going to make it feel like a click.
For sure.
And you went out to the Dominican and you won. And what was that feeling then, looking back, and the satisfaction maybe that you had of the journey up to that point?
Amazing.
Yeah. I can imagine.
Yes. Did it. So much better than last time. Flight home was so much more fun.
It
was just so amazing. But actually, when that last putt dropped, oh gosh, I was playing against A-God. It was A-Rod, but everyone called him A-God. That was his nickname. Because he acted like he was God.
Oh, geez.
And I had to hit an approach shot. It was wind into me, water on the right, like maybe 118 yards. I take a 9-9, or I think a 9-9. I choke it down. Tons of wind into me. I had to hit this like just low, punchy shot through the wind, and I hit a really great shot. Put the pressure on him, and I ended up making the putt. But I was just so in the moment. Like, it felt so good hitting that approach shot. It's one of my favorite shots. I like can relive going through my routine and feel it. And then when I made that putt, it was just such excitement. But then somebody was like, you won this, you won that. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like I had forgot. Like, I was just so into what I was doing. Like, I felt like you won the big break. You won an exemption into an LPGA tournament. You won,
I got
you know, all these things. And I'm like, oh my gosh. I was like, I think I just started crying.
Oh my goodness. I mean, so many
was surreal.
emotions, obviously, coming from the runner-up and the heartbreak there, and then all the preparation that you did, and the emotional roller coaster of just one season. And coming off of a moment like that, where it feels like a peak of a career, where do you go from there? How do you then bounce back to real life or real golf and chasing that tour card?
Well, I ended up signing with Cobra Puma. So with Puma Golf and Cobra Golf straight away. I had won some money. I had gotten the LPGA exemption. I ended up getting a few more exemptions out on the LPGA tour.
Wow.
So I was like, okay, I gave myself, now I'm in position.
Yeah.
you know, on paper it looks like to go like really make this happen. And it was amazing. Like my first LPGA tournament was crazy.
Because of fans or because of?
Well, I had a lot of fans out there, but they mic'd me up. Golf Channel mic'd me up.
Oh, wow.
I was so nervous. Can you imagine you waited your whole life for this?
First tournament
Yes.
ever.
I hire a local caddy who supposedly was supposed to be good. He was giving me wrong yardages all day. He was so nervous. I think he was nervous because I was mic'd up.
Yeah.
He was more
It
nervous
was
than
a lot
I
of
was.
attention for him too.
A lot of attention.
Yeah.
Yes, it was a lot. On the back nine, I get stung by a bee or a wasp. So on my hand like swells up. So then the medics have to come out, give me medicine, antihistamine or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
That actually I think helped me because then I was focusing on this and I started
And not
playing
the
a
golf,
couple.
yeah.
The next couple holes I actually played better at golf, but it was just so much. And then my now husband, he ended up caddying for me. He had never caddied ever in his life.
Goodness.
And he had caddied for me the rest of the time.
Okay.
So it was just like a circus.
That's wild.
It was.
I'm sure it's hard because it's the moment you've waited your whole life for.
For sure. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is all happening. Like,
Yeah.
seriously.
Yeah.
Worked so hard to get here and then like this. But it's funny now looking back, but it was not what you would
Yeah.
ask for.
Not at all. Not the ideal
No,
situation.
But it's all right. A crazy
And I know,
story.
again, a lot of attention coming off of a win and your own expectations
Oh,
of just
gosh.
your dreams coming true.
Yes.
How do you process just playing with the attention, the pressure, the expectations from yourself or the outsiders?
It was a lot of fun because I love playing in front of people. Like I
Mhm.
thrive off of that. But then also, in a weird way, then it kind of hurt me too because now I have these big sponsors who are really believing in me and I believe in myself too.
Yeah.
But now I feel the pressure from them to perform well for them.
Right.
You know, I want to do well for my sponsors. So then it was a different type of, a bigger pressure almost, but in a different way,
Yeah.
you know? So now I'm playing out there. I have all these opportunities. I've got eyes on me, you know, which
Yeah.
is great, but
Everything you've
also,
always asked for.
yeah,
or
everything I
ever asked
always
for.
wanted.
Yeah.
But it also hurt a little bit because then I still didn't perform. I felt like to my best. I wasn't able to get past like the expectations of feeling like now I'm playing for these people. Now, before it was just
Mhm.
me. If I played bad and I didn't do well or make a cut or make money at a tournament, like it was on me. And that was already devastating enough,
Right.
you know? But now I've got, you know, eyes watching and sponsors watching. And I'm like, oh, you feel like you let them
Right.
down. And it's just having that mentality is not good.
Yeah.
So I just wish that mentality, there's no way you can play well and perform well and have that mentality.
I know a lot of golfers and athletes can relate to that of almost feeling like you're playing, whether it's your family or sponsors
Mhm.
or the fans and the attention you're receiving. That can be very hard and a heavy weight to carry. Now
Yes.
looking back, hindsight is 2020 as an adult who's experienced life. How would you have gone back and changed how you dealt with that situation?
Well, now, so I have 2 kids, and when I've been pregnant, I've played the best golf that I've like
Wow.
really great golf.
Mhm.
And I look back and I think, okay, why did I play so well when I had them in my belly, especially my first son? I went out there, I was 7 months pregnant when I
Wow.
competed, and I finished like in the top 5.
That's impressive.
And it made like the New York Times, and it was
Oh
like a
my
huge
goodness.
deal. It was a
Yeah.
huge deal. And I went into that week just being like, oh my gosh, I just got to get through like walking 18 holes
Yeah.
4 days in a row is so
7 months
much.
pregnant?
Yeah,
Yeah.
is so much. So my expectations were so low,
Mm.
Cheyenne.
Wow.
It was amazing. Like, okay, you're not expected to do well. But once I went out there and I just had that mentality and stuck with it, I'm going to go out there, I'm going to have fun. The expectation is off. I'm going to enjoy every single shot.
Yes.
And I did this over and over and over and over and over for 4 days in a row, and I played so well. It was
Wow.
so fun. And that's why when you're a junior golfer too, I played like that, you know, and I was a great junior golfer,
Yeah.
you know, until I got stunted a little bit when I got a little bit older. And then, you know, your parents start telling you, oh, you know, you're going to start getting recruited next year. And this is how much our family's putting all of us into you. Like you need to perform. And then all of a
Right.
sudden you drop off,
Right.
you know, because you feel that stress and the pressure
Yeah.
of the expectations. And so now it's so cool because when I go out to play it's not my end all be all. I can go out there and I tell myself, enjoy every shot, even if it's a crazy ass shot.
Yeah.
Like, enjoy every shot, like, see what you can do. Being able to manage that mentally, like, I couldn't think that way back then.
Yeah.
And I don't know if anyone would have been able to get through that to tell me.
It's finding that balance of you love what you do,
Mhm.
so stick with that, but then also you're competitive. You want to play the best golf you can, and you want to be driven to have that fire to not settle for mediocre.
Yeah.
It's very hard to find that balance, but I think when you put it in perspective of life is so much more than just the shot,
Mm-hmm.
that definitely helps bring it back to reality of what
For sure.
what the big picture is.
For sure.
here.
And having kids too. Like, they don't
Yes.
care
They don't care at all.
how you play. And so I tell myself that, you know.
Yeah.
Like, there's bigger things. It's so good to be so focused on your craft and to want it so bad and be so driven. It's so
Right.
great. Like, you have to have that, but there has to be a space there where it doesn't overdrive. It doesn't
Right.
overkill to where it's like ends up too much of something is
Or
also.
it's defining you.
Yeah.
You feel like
for
it's starting
sure.
to define you, whether
Yeah.
you succeed or fail. I think that's where a lot of weight comes from
Mhm.
too, of this is who I am.
Yeah.
And however I perform, that's my worth and my
Oh.
value, especially when it comes to sponsors. You start to feel like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's hard. But competitive golf is a journey of itself. And now you are full-time TV for
Yes.
11 years.
Yep.
How is that learning a new skill set, learning a new environment, a new business, and transitioning from one career to another?
Well, my golf career certainly helped me to be able to transition into the TV career. But it was also a learning curve too, because it was something I hadn't done. You know, I'd done the modeling, but on camera work and live television is certainly different and intense. And it was a learning curve. I started with School of Golf and my co-host Martin Hall. And luckily I had a great team with me on that show. And in Martin, we become great friends and have so much respect for each other. And I feel like he kind of took me, he took me under his wing and, you know, let me grow on that show as well. And I had to figure out what worked for me, how to operate on camera, how to just do my job the best that I could do. But also I feel like I'm always open to criticism. I'm always open to get better.
When it comes to your journey, everything you've been through, now having two boys who are getting into sports and maybe
Yes.
they'll play, maybe they won't,
Yeah.
but how will you use your perspective now with them as they're getting older?
Oh, we have lots of conversations about things like 2 days ago, Chrome, my oldest, he's 5, and he said something about doing something that was simple. And he's like, oh, but it's just too hard to do. And I was like, no, it's not too hard to do. Our family does hard things. We do hard things every day. And if you think it's hard, you figure out a way to do it.
Yeah.
We don't just not do it because we think it's too hard. So it's like just getting that thought in their head. You know, my youngest, who's 3, last night, they were scootering in the house, racing, and Cannon lost. And he was so upset, crying, screaming, oh, I want to win. I want to win. And Chrome was trying to be sweet. And he's like, no, we tied. And he's like, no. And I picked up. He's like, I don't like to lose. And I was like, you know what? I'm not going to. That's a great thing to, because I feel like you're almost kind of like born with that instinct or not. You can't really teach that like deep, like I want to win.
Right.
You know, so if you have that like fire in you, like I think that's a great thing.
Yes.
So I'll help you sort it out, and manage it, you know. And I told him, I was like, that's fine that you don't like to lose. That's okay. You can be upset that you didn't win. You know, I know you want to win. That's a good thing that you want to win. That's okay. What do? We try harder next time.
Yeah.
You know, and your brother's also got a couple years on you too.
Not quite a fair race.
Yeah. So it's just like little things like that, because I do want them to also be very confident.
Yes.
You know, I think that's a huge thing. Like that gets you far in life. And then not just to be confident like on the surface, but to really like deep down, like
Believe it.
believe in yourself. Because if you're confident and you can do hard things and you always try your best, like your best is good enough.
Looking back at, again, your journey, what one quality do you believe you had that allowed you to get to where you are today?
Determination, perseverance. Yeah. Craziness.
I love that. Craziness, just a little sprinkle of craziness.
Competitiveness.
Yeah.
You know, my husband's like,
Yeah.
you're so competitive, and sometimes about the stupidest things.
Yeah. I know Big Break is coming up.
Yes, so Big Break is coming back. We've been waiting for this moment for so long. Full circle for me being able to host Big Break. Just such a cool opportunity.
Yes,
So I'm just
huge
so excited
opportunity.
for it and so excited to host it and just can't wait to
Awesome.
see how it all unfolds.
Awesome. I'm excited to watch
Yeah,
too, and
it's gonna be
can't wait to
amazing.
watch you host it.
Yay.
And we'll be cheering you on.
Yes,
And again,
thank
thank you
you.
for sharing your story, Blair.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for watching. We want you to be a part of the show. Every other week, we release special episodes built around what you're curious about and exploring in real time. Leave us a voicemail at speakpipe.com/realgame with your questions related to the show or topics you'd like us to dive into. And you might hear yourself on an episode. Connect with us on Instagram at Cheyenne_Woods. And if you're enjoying these conversations, share the podcast with someone else. We're here to grow together.